Hey, Loco sports fans, hoops fans around the world. What's going on? Justin Jarrett, joined by Coach Fish and Rob Benson, as usual, for the One Loco Hoops Happy Hour, presented by One Loco Foundation and Train 1L. And boys, it is your time of year. It is all hoops all the time right now. Between USCB, right in the mix in the Peach Belt Conference, a couple more wins for them on Saturday night in the Cove. They got one more regular season game, or the high school playoffs well underway now. We're into the third round in the South Carolina High School League playoffs with three teams still standing: Bluffton boys, Hampton County boys, and Beaufort girls. And they all looked really good in round two. So reason to believe they might be able to keep it going. And then on the Skeeza side, both JP2 teams still alive, as well as the Cross girls and the Hilton Head Prep girls. But how are you fellas doing? You've been in the gyms, I know.
Yeah, doing good, man. Was in the gym this morning. Some younger girls, they starting to look a little better. Starting to catch on to a few things. So they're looking good, man. Just looking forward to a few good games this week.
Yeah, yeah. Schedule
Should be.
dwindling, but quality on the rise.
Yeah, no
What's up,
doubt.
Robbie?
We still got some teams active. I mean, obviously, not all of skis has even started, I guess. But
Yeah. Well, yeah, because some had first round buys.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
that's true.
yeah. So I mean, but yes, I mean, we've got multiple teams, one on the boys, one on the girls, in the state public playoffs that are a couple rounds in now, facing real legitimate challenges in the next round, right?
Oh
Now
yeah,
now in neutral locations, I guess.
yeah,
Is that right?
yeah.
Yeah, Florence.
Not no, not
No,
for high
no,
school league.
no,
Uh,
no.
Oh,
high
that's
Skeezer
school
right.
league's
is.
So
still at
so
home.
Bluffton's at home,
Bluffton's
but
home against Wilson. Yes, sir.
oh, so Buford's up at South Florence.
Yep.
Correct. Yeah, they're on the
Gotcha.
road.
Okay, very good. Well, that makes that even harder for Buford now, doesn't it? Um,
It does. Yeah,
uh,
certainly.
we actually been having that debate a little bit. I was talking to you remember Arthur, right? Doing some
Yeah.
um, well, Arthur Singleton, I guess he played.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
little
yeah, yeah,
little
yeah.
shooter. Yeah.
Yeah. He played over at Buford, and I was talking with him the other day. We are just kind of like mulling over uh, the way the playoffs are put together and what makes sense. He was saying the Buford environment the other day for the girls' game was absolutely electric, and then he was going to Bluffton and Fish. I guess you guys were at Bluffton. How was the
Mhm.
environment there? Pretty good, or
Uh, yeah, it was decent, man. I mean, they spanked Darlington. Um, Darlington
Yeah.
wasn't
Jumped on
very
him
good.
early.
Yeah, they didn't really have too much skill over there, man. But yeah, the crowd was. I mean, the stands were pretty full. I'd expect it to be packed Tuesday night.
yeah, for sure. Well, that's Wilson's coming to town, and Wilson didn't
Yeah.
get over on Hilton Head by too much.
No, it
Hey, I
was
said
it was
last
a
week.
battle.
Yeah, I thought it would be a close game, man. I actually watched it while I was at the Bluffton game. I watched that one on Huddle. Um, hey, they competed, man. They
That's
Yeah,
competed. I figured they
multitasking.
would, but I think they match up a little better than Bluffton does. Man, this game's all about matchups.
yeah,
So
Yeah,
more
that's what I
athletic
said
style.
last night. Because the guys were kind of trying to get excited about like, oh, Hilton Head gave him a game, maybe Bluffton will get them, and they might. But I think Hilton Head's length on the perimeter probably served them really well in that game, and that's something that Bluffton doesn't really have.
right, right, and they play. I don't want to say they play harder, but they're a little more aggressive in
Hmm.
nature. Some of their guys.
Yeah,
But I mean, speaking of Wilson, if you look at that Buford game, the only real common opponent is Colleton, which okay, Wilson girls beat Colleton by 20. Wilson girls also beat South Florence twice. So if I'm
really.
looking at that and I see Buford beat Colleton by 35 both times,
Right.
I would assume, transitively speaking, that they do have a chance. I think they also beat Bishop England a little worse than Wilson did. So
Okay.
that's the only real like comparison in my head that I
But
can
the
So
I
trans.
can
Wilson beat
find.
South Florence twice, but South Florence still beat them in the region.
I think so, or maybe they.
That's
I want to
crazy.
say they beat them twice, or maybe they split
Well,
one of the
Very
two.
interesting.
South
But
South
that was a
Florence.
tough region, though. If you look, that was a real
Yeah,
competitive region.
real tough.
I mean, if you
Always
look
is.
at it though, South Florence on the girls' side, they're completely dominated almost exclusively by one kid, and she's a freshman. So I think
Right.
that gets to be like speculative how much experience, how far that runs. I mean, obviously they're at home, so that helps. But she's a demon, Harmony Bostwick. So
Yeah.
like we'll
Yeah,
see
boss. Yeah.
Bostwick. So like we'll see how that all plays. But hey, here's the thing: we talked about it early too. Like against Bishop England, Hayward went nuts. So that's what we were saying. Like you
Yeah.
know, time to shine, and
Yep.
Nia gets going when the lights are on. So.
They have a few other kids
Absolutely.
too who can
They did
get
lose to
hot at
Wilson
a time.
twice.
They you said what?
They did lose to Wilson twice. One of
Yep.
them was non-region. Looks like it was in a tournament on December 29th. They lost by 2. And then they beat Wilson 57-38 January 14th, but then lost to them again on February 6th, 39-38. So, yeah,
Oh,
seems like very much a winnable game.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, just looking at that through the Max Preps lens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
mean, yeah, I mean they may have a shot, man. If they got things clicking, they got a couple other shooters who could get going. Obviously, Amira could get buckets any given night too. So
yeah, for sure.
I mean, yeah, we'll see what happens with that one.
So that's the Publix, right? That pretty much covers public. Oh, Hampton.
You got Hampton boys still
Yeah.
rolling through there so far, but they've got to go on the road this time. They go to, I believe, Mullins. Uh, where they at? There we go. Yeah, they go to Mullins on what's that tomorrow? But they blasted York Prep by like 30 in the second round,
Mhm.
so they're rolling.
Yeah, that's good. Well, and then the girl, and then on the Skiza side of things, what we had on the girls' side, we had sort of a major upset on
Yeah,
We
the
did.
prep girls who have been fairly maligned over the course of the years, although have managed to string together 6, 7, 8 wins. Um, they went up and played. Who was it? The number
Calhoun.
Calhoun.
Yeah,
Calhoun.
Calhoun, number 3 seed, and walked away with a 44-40 victory, where 2 kids accounted for 40 of those points.
Yeah.
And yeah, and so they're up again tomorrow, I believe, and so we'll see what they can do. But good on them to get out of the first round.
I mean,
Um,
they may have a chance if you look at just looking at Greenwood Christian scores.
Yeah,
They're very low scoring, man. Like I think they won a
yeah.
game. They scored 23 points
oh
or something
wow,
like that.
wow. I
Yeah.
mean, you're
Now I think they beat Calhoun by like 16. Um,
okay. Well,
but
They don't.
they
They
don't
don't
score the
seem
ball.
unbeatable.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
definitely don't seem unbeatable. Especially if Kate could get hot. If McCleary could get hot over there too.
yeah,
Kate's been cooking. Kate Pagan.
yeah. Did a big game the other night. I think she had 23 and 6 or something of that nature. So that was nice.
Yep.
Um, and then I guess JP2, right? The boys won.
The
Yeah, they beat
boys.
Porter's out.
Yeah,
Who
Yep.
they play tomorrow?
yeah.
They play either Heathwood or Hammond. Other. They play
I think it is.
Heathwood, and the
Yeah, the
girls
girls
play
play Hammond.
Hammond. Yeah.
Yeah. So on
Both
the
at
girls' side,
Wilson Hall. I still haven't seen Skiza brackets. I just see they just keep putting out schedules.
I saw the in the 2A Cross plays Kings, but Cross is on the same side as Lawrence Academy this year before you get to
Oh,
the championship game.
oh,
oh,
So
interesting.
so that's
I think that
interesting.
would be an interesting one if they run across one another
Yeah.
in semifinal.
Yeah.
Kind of line it up.
HHCA boys, Hilton Head Prep boys, Cross boys, I think all lost. Buford Academy, did they come through the boys?
Uh,
Maybe did they have a bye?
No, they played Faith Christian, but I
Oh,
never saw a score get posted. Um, all right, now I got to go to that Skiza Facebook page and
not the
try to
Skiza
find it.
Facebook page.
The Skiza scoreboard and news Facebook group, I should say. That's where you get the most reliable information on Skiza.
Man, it needs that Foghorn Leghorn AI voice.
Well, we're here with the Skiza
It's the
Championships.
Skiza results
Dorchester
of the day.
69, Cross Schools 44.
44.
Charleston Collegiate 62, Thomas Haywood 37. There you go. This has been the Skiza scoreboard. No, I don't see a BA Faith Christian score. I don't know what's going on there.
Huh.
But yeah, that Foghorn Leghorn voice echoing in the Sumter Civic Center is
It's something.
something. It's
hey,
something.
The Sumter Civic Center is special. And
At
speaking
least
of
they don't
which,
have the rubber basketball floor anymore. That's a big upgrade.
so that was one of the things I was talking with the gentleman in Arthur about, and that was the Skeeza setup and how these kids have to play 3 or 4 games every other day over the course of a full week and drive 3 hours up and 3 hours back.
It makes
Like,
no sense.
makes no sense. And the thing is these are all small schools. They should just do it like an AAU tournament. Go Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Bring your top 8 and also Skeeza would be better off having a 1 and 2 state championship and a 3 and a 4. I know they'll never do that, but like you would have a much more competitive and interesting tournament. I mean, back in the day, you would have looked at it and it would have been like on the girls' side, you would have Hilton and Christian. Now all of a sudden having to bump Faith
Right.
Baptist and Northwood for state championships, which would have been or Hampton Hall or whatever it is, not Hampton Hall, Heathwood Hall. Yeah, back in the day, Hampton Hall doesn't feel that great at sea.
Hampton Hall.
Yeah, no,
They got a great golf squad though.
They go down early in the Hunger Games of neighborhoods.
That's a topic for a whole other show. We'll have to launch an entirely new podcast to discuss the neighborhood Hunger Games of Hilton Head Island, and the surrounding communities. Some Jasper County communities coming up on that. I think Margaritaville could hold its own in the Hunger Games. But back to the basketball. On that subject of the Skeeza State Tournament and the format, I've been complaining about this for as long as I've been here in South Carolina, because I've never understood why like Hilton Head Prep girls tomorrow are playing at 3:30 in the afternoon on a Monday against whoever they're playing, Greenwood Christian at the Sumter Civic Center. Why?
Yeah, they should do it like they do volleyball. Like
and then JP2, the boys play in the auxiliary gym at Wilson Hall. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, and you're sending. Here's the thing too. You're sending them to all these venues, like where if we did it like an AAU event, then you could actually stream it, right? And you could monetize it, and you could actually do, concessions, and everyone split them accordingly, and or give some money to skis on them. I'm not sure what for. But in the overall scheme of it, it would create more of like an interesting event because you have all these small schools and most of them would be there for 2 days. So like you'd have more people in the venue. It'd be more interesting. As Sumter, man, people are loading in and out, and it just gets to be a whole hullabaloo. And then the first round games, even then, like I think a couple years ago when Fish was coaching over at Cross, like weren't those games up at Heathwood? The first couple,
or like Wilson Hall or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, Wilson Hall always hosts a bunch of them.
And things like that. So it just doesn't make sense in terms of creating an event. You know what I mean? Like make it an event if you're going to do it.
Now, I will say to Wilson Hall's credit, they usually do a really good job of streaming their stuff. I think they put it on their YouTube channel or something.
They should just have them all there. Because I mean, you have 2 gyms going at once. Now, if you want to do the championship on its own day, like, cool. You know what I mean? But like the first, I mean, they're all 2 rounds, 3 rounds.
It'd be fun, man. Make it a hot gym as opposed to like this empty, like, and it's not even a nice gym, right? I mean, it's
a weird place.
It's a weird place. So I mean, like, there's not places to eat up there really around the venue. There's not such like there's no way to.
There's a Church's up the road, but it's got like a regular door, not like a business door.
Right. They definitely do have a church. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I've eaten there.
But yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. But well, the thing was, it was interesting. Was Arthur was talking about the hot gym in Beaufort the other night.
Yeah.
And so he very much prefers like that sort of everyone deserves that kind of environment, right, during the playoffs. But I was thinking about it too, and I get that. But okay, so the next round you're getting 3 rounds deep in the playoffs. So now Beaufort, a 3 seed, has to go to South Florence as a 2. Yeah. And so in some cases, I'm sure you're devaluing areas that have harder schedules, with seeding. So in this case, like Buford's on the road, and I know South Florence has had equally as good a season and all that kind of stuff, but it's just interesting that a 3's got to go to a 2 when at that point I feel like that should be neutral, just because they both had equally as good a season. Like, why would give one the advantage when they're so tightly? Because it's not like we got RPI or SOS or
Well,
Ken
actually,
Palm.
they did use RPI. The Max Preps RPI is what they used to seed
Is
it.
that right?
Yeah.
The algorithm.
Yeah, so all the region champs were 1, 2, and 3, but then it was sorted based on RPI, and then the region runners up went 4, 5, 6, sorted by RPI, and then it was all after that at large based on RPI.
That's
So
such a difficult thing to do via Max Preps, though. When okay, maybe not. Ask me this: like, is the public league, are they required by membership in the public league to be
yes,
on Max Preps?
100%.
Okay,
Yes, and they're
so
required to put all the results in there, and that is a product of them voting to use RPI as the system
I
for
knew
the seeding.
Georgia. I knew GHSA did that. I was not
So
aware.
South Florence was 8th in RPI, Beaufort was 9th.
Okay,
Win percentage is the primary factor in that, but then they also factor in opponents' win percentage and opponents' win percentage.
yeah, but that's
Um,
already still doesn't even go to like strength of region. You know what
no,
I'm
not
saying?
really. Although,
They
no, it
South Florence
doesn't.
had
But
a
it,
tougher region. I will
By a
give them
yeah,
lot. By a lot.
and that's reflected in their. No, it's
RPA.
really not. So yeah, it kind of hurts South Florence probably because their
Uh,
opponent's win percentage is actually a little lower. It's 48% and
right.
Buford's was 54%. Um, but Beaver had a slightly lower win percentage and a slightly lower opponent's win percentage, but it was narrow margins, 0.685 to 0.681.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
But interestingly, the 2 and 3 seed were 8th and 9th in RPI, although most of those are upstate schools. Camden,
Oh
North
yeah.
Augusta, Camden, Gray
Right.
Collegiate, South Florence, and Beaufort. So I guess they would, yeah, it's not that far out of whack. But yeah, they do use RPI,
Okay, well
which
that's
is
good.
a big
And I've always liked that.
advancement.
I didn't know everyone was required by league mandate with the association or with the public school association. So that's great. I mean, that's the way it is in Georgia too, and I've always thought that that's perfect. And
Yeah,
they
yeah,
do it to NHSA a lot too, which they tie their max breaks into their NHSA or whatever it is, as well.
yeah, yeah. And you can tie it into your huddle, and it'll
Yeah,
do all your
100%.
stats for you and all that stuff. It's crazy. The technology is insane that we
Well,
have
that's
now.
the stuff but the thing is that like you see coaches get selective with it, right? Like they don't
Yeah,
like they don't necessarily just unleash the demon. They will hide player stats.
yeah.
They'll
I don't get
they'll
that.
yeah, I don't really either. I know there's a local program that didn't allow the kids on the team to see anyone else's stats, but they could see their own. Like things of that nature. Like there was like a jealousy thing. I was like, that is so bizarre. Like
What?
they're
That is strange.
yeah, like they don't play in the games and know who scored. You know.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
is that it for the playoffs? Who's in the playoffs?
yeah. It sure is. That's it. 7 teams left fighting in the high school ranks,
All right. Well,
and
we
then
got
we
some
got
good games.
USCB. USCB's still in there. Women in second place in the Peach Belt. Men tentatively in third, but it's real tight from second through fifth. So
They have one
um,
game left.
yeah, they go to North Georgia on Saturday. Tough game for both teams.
So, did you
Um,
see that thing that
we got
came out?
some questions from the chat though,
Oh, bring it.
mostly for Fish, mostly from Kevin Libby. Is Harry still too small for D2 ball?
I
No,
mean,
he can
my
play D2
you know,
somewhere.
my theory is I don't even believe in the small stuff because I mean I watched the dudes 5'10" score 45 at
Yeah,
Mississippi State the other night.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So I mean, ultimately, it's your skill set. It's all the little stuff you do. It's your tenacity, how hard you play. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, somebody got to fall in love with you, whether it be a D2,
right.
D3 coach. Now, you do have some coaches, like, I see a lot of coaches who, okay, let's say a lot of coaches who necessarily haven't played, and they kind of get enamored with athleticism sometimes,
Mhm.
and kind of value it a little more than skill. Like I said, I think he could play um, D2 ball. Just in seeing him, especially over the past few weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, we go to these games, man. Not a lot of kids knocking down shots. We see a lot of people getting to the rim. People ain't making shots, man. So, I mean, I think he can, but that's not for me to decide.
Yeah.
I'm not a college coach, but my theory, like on all of it's kind of changed like throughout as I've seen him play and things like that.
Yeah, he's
So,
shown me something recently. He's really kind of carrying in a way and elevating the team, I guess I should say, more than carrying, because he's putting guys in positions to be successful too. Foster's been big for him. Gordon, I heard Corda Holly had a really good game the other night. As they kind of try to find some other pieces to fill the void with LaRue.
I mean, look,
You
dude,
know.
they had three people at one point trying to guard him, and he was just weaving in and out. Like at the end of the day, I mean, people talk about, oh, can he guard at that level because of size? But again, I go to these games. There are a lot of non-factors on the court
Hmm.
on both sides at all times. You know what I mean? So I mean, it just depends on what the coach values at the end of the
Amen.
day. But skill set's real marginal, so I think his
Yep.
skill can. Yeah.
10-4. And then he also wondered, is Harry or Tajay more deserving of a ride to USCB? Does recruiting locally boost turnout, and why is low court good for ticket sales? I mean, I've always believed having local kids on your roster is a good thing for local interest and ticket sales to some degree, but you don't want it to be patronizing either, I
Right.
guess.
I mean, if you look at the area as a whole is kind of like 2, 3 years behind what they should be at every grade
Hmm.
level. Um, when it comes to how their feel for the game and like knowledge of the game, things like that. Honestly, I think that's kind of what holds the area back. More than anything else. Again, I think people are talented enough to play at that level, to play at USCB. But again, like there's just 2 and 3 years back on development right now.
Hmm.
So until that kind of catches up, that's really the difference. I mean, people with skill normally dominate till they get to high school. Then it
Right.
becomes more about who kind of understands the game more.
Yeah. And
So
fine tuning at
yeah,
that
but
point.
but to that, the fine tuning piece, man, because look, my theory on all this kind of change. Look, I'm a train different this summer than I trained last summer. I think I'm kind of more in the mode of breeding dogs now. I think that your mentality is more important than
Yeah.
a lot of skill. A lot of times, like all you see on the internet is people doing punch dribbles, people doing euro steps, this, that, and you don't never see it in the game.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like you need to perfect one thing. Like
Hmm.
you perfect to me, a one dribble pull up. Like you make shots consistently, and then after that, when you work out, like you need to go work on your handle on your own. You need to go work on your moves on your own. Like, what do you do around the house when you're walking around? Like, what moves do you do there? Like, nobody can teach you really how to be creative on the court. Like all this other stuff, all these drills and blah blah. I think to me is overrated. I think me constantly telling you what move to do at this cone and that cone, that's not going to help you when it comes to being reactionary and trying to make a move on somebody. So
Hmm.
I think get with a trainer to kind of perfect some of the stuff you do, and low key also have a rebounder. You know what I mean? Especially depending on who you with, but needs to be a lot more of working on your own, like
Yeah.
without somebody.
I mean, we tell
Yeah.
people all the time, like, if your kid's not working by themselves, why are you paying to come to us? Like,
Right.
like it's not that we don't appreciate your patronage, and it's not that we can't train up your kid, but like at the end of the day, um, it takes so much more than that. Like brief moment of time, we would have them in the gym, even if we have them 3 times a week.
Right.
It's a skill sport, and yeah, athleticism can like you can skip steps by being an elite athlete and all that, but the way you're assuredly getting on the court at every step is to be one of the most skilled out there, and or to know where you're supposed to be all the time, and still confidence in your coach. The coach has confidence in you because they know what you're trying to get across, and that you're going to do what they're trying to get across, I should say, and perform in your role. So, I mean, I think the way Fish trains is very much all about that. it's functional. It's like
Hmm.
it translates, and I think that's something that's missing in training. Unless you've been there, I think. Look, people all see all the bag work online and everything, but it's never by the pros.
You know what's funny? I worked out with Michael Lancaster one summer. Dude invented impossible, right? All the funny training. Yo, when I trained with him, or like when I saw Brandon Ingram train with him, it was all the basic stuff. Like it may have been like 10 minutes of the funky stuff to kind of trip you up a little, but after that, like it's literally all basic stuff. Like the high level pros work on all the basic stuff.
Hmm.
I worked out with Steph Curry's trainer. It's all the basic stuff.
And then
Like
kids should.
all the
I mean,
funny, all the fun stuff. Like I'm watching the Celtics Lakers right now. Everybody out there has a different game. Everybody out there has a completely different skill set. So to think that they're all in the gym doing the exact same things,
Right.
like that's not what's going on.
that's
Yet
why I
you
always
see
liked
you see it all
Harden.
the time with trainers.
That's one of the things I always loved about James Harden, because he's like he just refuses to have a trainer for the most part. In part because he's like, what are they going to? I mean, who's going to know what I do better than who I am, what I
Yo,
do?
I I had the luxury of watching James Harden work out. The same stuff you see him do in games is the exact same stuff he does in work. He just does the same thing over and over, the tween, boom, over and over again. Same
And it's
spots over. Like you have to perfect something. Don't just do a whole bunch of stuff and never perfect anything.
Yes.
That's not how you get better.
well, in fairness too, like knowing what your game is, so where your kill zone is and how to get there, so you're
Yep.
efficient with it. I mean, one of the things, we have a kid that we've been training for a couple of years, a girl who's now over at St. Vincent's, and she's had a very, very good week. She's at the end of her freshman year, and I think she put up 30 and 20 in back-to-back games, and that sort of
Nice.
stuff. But almost all of it was ball fake, one dribble, two dribble pull up, like mid-range stuff, right? So essentially all she was doing is getting kids to fly by with the, ball fake, dribbling it once, and then just flicking her wrist. No easier way to score. There was nothing fancy about any of it ever, except for the number at the end of the day, you know?
That's how majority of scoring happens. You're either getting
Yeah.
a catch, you got a straight line drive, you got to catch and shoot, or you're pulling up. Like I understand the highlights and stuff. The highlights
Right.
are beautiful. If you're a point guard and whatnot, obviously you need to work on your handle. But again, like it's so spontaneous on the court that you just more so need to learn how to like move with the ball
Yeah.
more
Well,
than
and why
anything
go to your
else.
seventh best move? Like,
Yeah, like
like
yeah,
you just be the best at a couple of things. That's all you need. Um, but yeah, don't get too deep in that bag. We see that in all sports, certainly.
yeah,
I
but
coach
definitely
wrestling,
work.
and we see a
So
lot of
yeah,
that, trying to do stupid stuff instead of just keeping it simple.
right. But
Well, and then
again,
like,
to me, I think just the mindset is more important than at all anything else, man.
Hmm.
Like if you could be that person who grinds, like I have this philosophy now that yo, it's my job to get you to a point where you don't think you can go no more. That's the point you want to keep hitting, and the wall you want to keep hitting against, and eventually, like that wall's gonna go down. Once you get past that wall, that's when you know, okay, like yeah, there's nothing external that's going to affect what's going on inside. You're just kind of a steady force, constantly going. So I mean, everybody had demons like the I can't demons. There's everybody who's ever played basketball. I'm sure has been in a workout and thought I can't no more. I wanted to stop. You know what I mean? So if you could push past that wall, you will be better than 95% of the competition, guaranteed.
you also practice them tired, right? Like you burn them early so that they have to practice shooting like it's fourth quarter, like they basically already have their, you
You
know,
you should be dead tired the first 15 minutes of your workout. You
yeah.
should be dead tired, and then you should get into it. Like that's normally how it goes. A lot of people like to ease into stuff, and no, that's not really what it's about. Like you should warm up and whatnot when your workout starts. First 15 minutes, you should be gassed.
Yeah.
especially before you
Well, I
start
mean,
shooting.
that's the way you should be playing the game, right? I mean, you should be playing it
Yeah.
as a
It should be
full
harder to win the
go
game.
from
Yeah.
the tip, and so you got to learn how to play like that all the time. I mean, training at full speed is super important because until you train at full speed, you don't know if you can do it at full speed, and in the game, you have to do it at full speed all the time.
Right.
So yeah,
And
you can't
and
just go
even
through the motions.
training should be harder than that. Like you should go so fast you feel uncomfortable doing it.
Hmm.
You know what I
Well,
mean? And like really keep challenging yourself to speed up.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
funny you say that. The gentleman I always have been referencing over the course of these podcasts who moved down here from Northern Virginia area, ran the Fairfax Stars EYBL program. One of the first things
Hmm.
he ever told me that I would personally find interesting about the way they conducted all their practices was that they're done at like Mach 10. Like everything, they go at an uncomfortable rate of speed because they want that speed to slow down because it's not going to get
Hmm.
any slower as you move on and get older. Like it only gets faster, it only gets more complex. So like you want to get used to moving at speeds you're uncomfortable with early. So
Right.
yeah, that's
Because
the way they get
like at the
after
end
it.
of the day, everybody in the sport plays in the same pattern. Their body moves at the same pattern. Like I could watch anybody now, you could break them down. Everybody has a weakness. Like again, training the habits of how fast you go, training the habit of pushing yourself. Like the only thing that shows up on the court in games are your habits. So you want to be able to work to the point that when you're in the game, it's kind of you're unconsciously out there just playing. You know what I mean? You're just flowing. You're not thinking about anything but what's going on, and obviously all that. Be aware, but ultimately your habits are going to show up on the court. You can't hide that in this game.
One of the things I also was thinking about for this area that like makes I think makes sense anyway, maybe it doesn't. Um, is we need to in training, not only training scenarios, but whatever, whether it's rec ball or whether it's any in between level, before you get to varsity, we need to pick up the level of competition. Like people actually really competing and getting after each other. And then also we need to weed out like everyone, there's not enough good kids in this area not to be all in the gym together with consistency, and bumping each other and getting each other better. I mean, it's certainly a culture, that we've worked to cultivate a little bit, but like at the end of the day, um, Cooper Flagg's mom said it really great in and around the draft,
Yeah.
and that was effectively, if you're the best kid in your gym, you better find another gym.
Right.
And so with that being said, there's a lot of people who are just comfortable being okay in a very mediocre area. And I think it's important if you have aspirations above and beyond that, you really need to humble yourself and put yourself in environments where you're going to be pushed, where it's going to be hard, where you're going to have to do reps at an uncomfortable rate of speed. And you're going to be around other kids that sometimes you're the hammer and sometimes you're the nail. And that's just what it is. And if you do that, then you'll come out the other end, right? Like, and you'll be a
Hmm.
product. But if you don't do that, then what you've done is you've hidden and you've made it so it's impossible for coaches to gauge you for the next level, for people to be comfortable with you at the next level, because you're just not, it's not steel on steel, iron on iron, right? Like it's one of those, we're just not good enough to hide here and to
Yeah.
train in silence. Like you have to basically be in the gym with the other good kids. That was all.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And the other thing we were texting about earlier is like don't don't pay people trainers to tell you to do things you can do on your own.
Yeah. So that stems from a video we saw online today where clearly someone took a Venmo payment and then just has dudes running stairs and things of that nature, and tying surgical tubing to random pipes. And you're okay. Like, what are we doing, guys? You know,
But that wasn't the only thing. We saw something else too that was along those lines. You see a lot of it. Just oh yeah,
well,
one of them was like throwing. Somebody got paid to throw a plastic bag in the air and have the kid run and try to grab it before it hit the ground. It's like anybody can do that.
yeah,
Here's a great drill I do with the kids I train. It's like, come on, what are we doing here?
there's a bunch of that out there, man, and they're popping up. They're really popping up. They're all
There
over the
they
place.
are.
Like whack-a-mole.
We could talk end of the year, like summer stuff,
Yeah, yeah, sure.
summer stuff.
What
So
do you want
like
to talk about?
just travel ball, man. Like there's
Okay.
different, it's kind of where you should be heading towards, just different age groups. Because to me, like if you're a sophomore heading in junior year, I think first off, before this point, you really ain't get looked at anyway. So exposure really shouldn't be a thought.
Right,
If you're
right.
looking at a program, if you're looking to do a summer anything, um, more so look at the coaches and how they develop and the style of play that people play. And really the culture that's around it. I guess you could look at the kids that are involved too. If you're serious about it, kind of to what Rob was saying about talent, like get around more serious people. Um, but now if you're a sophomore going to junior year, I think this is the one of the biggest summers as far as developing. Um, and I think that this is the year that you kind of start getting on people's radars. You're not necessarily going to get offers or anything like that. You might get a check next to your name, and somebody may follow you throughout your junior year, see how you develop, see how you look come next summer. Um, so I think if you're really serious about it, it's kind of the age where like you make up your mind on it and you really get in the gym. I think in some of it too, even when you talk about schools, right, and the transfer and this, that, and the third again, look at the summer. I think one of the biggest things with NCAA is that scholastic live period. I
Yeah,
think that there's, for most people, I think your best version is really in that scholastic live period. That's kind of where coaches can more so see you and get a glimpse of what you would look like in a system like theirs. Because high schools normally are a little more put together.
hmm,
Um, so, I mean, look at schools, like talk to coaches, man. You can grill them, ask them questions about what their summer plans are. So I know a lot of schools around here don't even go to Scholastic Live periods. Um, so you know what I mean? When you're looking at all these type of things, like playing basketball in college doesn't just happen. I think that even if you're going in junior year, like maybe start getting an idea for your level, maybe start looking at schools, maybe start going to elite camps. If you're that junior going to senior year, you should really lock in, narrow in your list. You
yeah,
should kind of know what you are by now. Start reaching out to some of those levels type of schools. You know, if they're already talking to you, like go where you're wanted. You know, we all get enamored by the level, but go where they want you. Don't be like
yes,
the sixth option and their first five turned it down and now it's you. You know what I mean? Like go somewhere where you think you'll have an opportunity to play. Like we talked about last time, like the school environment, all that extra good stuff.
yeah, yeah,
Well, I
But
mean, and
be intentional about the summer though.
there's so much to all of it. Like, I mean, look, if you're I don't know. So I come down pretty hard on this sort of stuff, right? For good reason. But at the end of the day, like I feel personally that when you and now everyone's circumstance is personal to them and their own family, but like if you are one of those kids and it's 15U, like FOMO's ever over everyone. Like once you're in high school, like why are you on the road if you're not intentional about trying to save your parents some money in college, right? Because otherwise there's ways to play basketball. You can stay around and pick up, you can work you can live a very normal life. Like you don't
Mhm.
have to go spend 10, 20 grand in the summer to because literally you're paying for your own scholarship doing this. Like you're
yeah,
going out over the course of 4 years, you are ending up paying a couple of years worth of college tuition anyway to go play travel ball, right? So
yep,
like if you're not super serious about it, and by super serious, I mean in the gym and working out when you're paying people and working out when you're not paying people. And if you're not doing your research or like what do you like look, it's one thing to play like mom and pop local ball and head to Charleston and do this that and the other, but if like you're heading out of town and stuff, head to real events and
yeah,
research enough to know what those are and not pretend like. And then the other side of it is what Fish was saying, like we've seen this a lot also. If you're going to make a big play at a bigger program, do it earlier to where you can get in their wheelhouse, to where they can prioritize you, to where you can make sure you're getting volume and looks on the court. Because otherwise, you can't just pop up at 16 or 17U unless you are
Yeah.
a P5 kid who's a complete difference maker and walk onto a branded team and make hay. So like at the end of the day, there's a lot to it. But for me, I mean, personally, when you're 16, you're sort of a lost year anyway in travel ball. To be real, on the boys circuit, unless you're playing really, one of the top tier
Circuit
shoes.
event, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have to pretty much play a top tier shoe circuit at this point to have
Yeah.
coaches at your events. So let's not confuse it. There's no one around here. You're not going to a phenom for the most part and getting a ton of people showing up. Big Shots doesn't really draw in any sort of massive
Now,
way.
I will say that Scholastic Live period, especially for
Yeah.
a lot of kids around here, you get a
That's
lot
right.
more of the regional, smaller schools that, I mean, realistically, that's what we're working with right now.
And you're also totally correct in the fact that if you're a system kid and you're in a system and you go play organized ball, you're going to show better in the scholastic period as
Yep.
well. And so it's easier for coaches to visualize you within their system. There's not guesswork. Like we talk about that all the time in training. Is the reason we want kids to look a certain way is so that college coaches don't have to do guesswork. It's just easy to go, oh, we run an action like that. Oh, that kid just ran an action like that. Their footwork was great.
Right.
Right now we know. Now we know what it looks like. You don't have to guess on it. So, yeah, I mean, parents, I feel bad for them because there's, especially on the boys' side, it's a slippery slope out there, and I don't just
Yep.
even mean like local programs. I mean, the whole industry is absolutely whack right now. There's you're talking about the portal. No one wants younger kids. You're talking about JUCOs going from JUCO to D1 and not losing eligibility.
Yeah.
You've had super seniors for like 19 straight years. And so like it's not particularly fair to young kids. So with that being said, your timeline should be different. Like, and it's actually great because now you can develop at a rate that makes sense.
Hmm.
It's not everything's forced, and
Hmm.
you know, so you can be 17 and still getting better, and it's not like you've missed your shot. You know,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and to Fish's point, go where you are going to have an opportunity because one of the positives of this whole shift with the transfer portal and everything is that there really is upward mobility. I mean, there is no more. You don't get stuck at a level. If you outperform the level, you are going to rise to your level.
Yep.
no doubt.
Yeah, and remember, to me, excuse my French, man, but you don't really owe nobody shit, man. Like you don't think you owe any adults. Like anybody wanted to go somewhere, think they gonna get something, but you don't owe me nothing. Like anybody who's in this for the right reasons, like they're just in it for it's kind of a purpose type of thing. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like don't look at the next kid and see what they're doing and try to follow them. Everybody's journey and everybody's route's a lot different. So do your research. Obviously, try to make the best decision for yourselves, and then do what's best for you and your family and your kid. Because, like Rob was saying, like it's an investment
Hmm.
to go on. Like, so it's a real deal thing, man. Once you get high school, it's really a real deal thing if you want to do it or not. So
And
definitely
then
be
I mean,
serious, man.
like there's levels to it. I mean, we look at it all the time. Like we joke about certain promoters and certain programs that play events from certain. So there's like levels to it. You don't have to. It can be like a roving rec scenario, and if you as a parent and if you as a kid are okay with that, and but I just never have seen the purpose of that versus getting in the gym and actually getting better. Now you're just going around and playing like loose events that don't amount to a hill of beans at the end of the day when you could
Yeah.
be stacking reps and just becoming a better player if that's what the goal is. So, mm.
Yeah, it's that's always a fine line, right? Between you get better by playing, but there's definitely a lot of people in the development phase of various sports who probably play too much and don't practice enough. The value of practice is unmatched. I mean,
Yeah,
and what's the point of playing if you're not trying to execute things you've been practicing, right?
Well,
That's
and
where you go out and you put it on display.
and that also gets to the point of why you get all the best kids in the gym, right?
Right.
Because now you can live action train, you can do read and react stuff, and the kids can make decisions in real time and learn in that way, which is preferable to like training at a cone or you know
yeah.
jumping off of bleachers
Yeah.
or
Cones
whatever.
don't play defense notoriously.
Yeah, so I mean, so that's the thing. Like, that's why in an area that's not particularly deep, where there's only so many kids who go hard and care, they really need to be in the gym bumping each other so that they can learn in real time. Because that for us on the girls' side, that's always been, like there's been certain years where there's so little talent in certain age brackets that you're really good in 24, oh you're really good in 27, oh you're really good in 30, right? So but there's just enough time between them where you don't really can't get them in the gym consistently
Right.
together. So if you have the opportunity to get kids that are within a year of each other in the gym with regularity and actually teach, then that's a blessed scenario around here, and you should take opportunity to do it because it's few and far between. So, I mean, that's sort of where we are. The only way the area is going to get better is to get in the gym. It's not playing events where they don't register with anyone and no one's getting better. And I mean, look, I look at this look, volleyball is interesting too. I mean, you can go out of town for an entire weekend and your kid touched the ball like 6 times per game, 4 or 5 times per game, right? And you're like, man, I've been on the road here and just dropped $1,000 for a cumulative 25 hits or something over the course of a weekend, right? Like, so I think you got to be what are you trying to get accomplished out here? Or you look to lose money really fast? And I mean that's the thing. Unless you're really good at, I mean, really travel should be for the elite. It should
It
be for the
should be.
1%.
Yeah.
I mean, and then that would also help college coaches out a lot too, right? The only reason there's circuits and sub circuits and independent circuits and promoter based circuits is because parents will buy into the FOMO of their kid not being involved in them. So directors now feel like they need to be involved in them. And now everyone's tied into something that makes no sense.
Yeah.
So,
A lot of that going around.
yeah,
Definitely.
man, for sure.
Definitely. But I think it's also a product of, over the years, kind of investment in rec programs falling off and things like that too, because a lot of people who went that route, and the reason it became a trend is because they didn't feel like they were getting challenged enough locally, so they had to be a part of something that went out of town, and they fell into that trap. But yeah, we got to keep it grassroots, and we got to, if we really want it to have legs.
Well, it's that middle ground, right, where no one
Yeah.
wants to quote unquote say privatizing rec, right?
Right.
But that's also the national trend in a huge way is privatizing rec, realizing that. I mean, look, no shade, but like look at Buck. No, this is actual shade. This is actual shade. But like Buckwalter Rec, right? Like children can't get into Buckwalter Rec. Um, they have more. That is, I'm sure that's like one
It's
of
like
the
the
toughest.
Pentagon.
It is, man. Like you should have metal
Crazy.
detectors and clear bags and like there's been
Can't bring
nothing
your
like
own
happened.
ball.
It's crazy. Yeah, you can't bring your own ball. So like it would be
That's
great if
wild.
it is wild. So like it would be great if to get the area better, you have to have, and I think Rec's doing better with it. We've actually
Yeah.
discussed doing some programming with them, and kind of becoming a de facto, uh, you know, Rec training kind of operative. Get out there and help them out, and honestly, I would like to do stuff like that, and also be able to come in and consult when they do their, when they do their season, so we can get with all the coaches and say, hey, this is what makes sense for this level. Like, stop zoning up, stop doing whatever. So,
I mean, I hate zones.
yeah, man. So, I mean, we're just in this place where right now there's no middle ground between rec and like travel ball,
Or
and so
high
we're,
school. Look, it all feels the same, which is
yeah,
which is a problem. Like one of them got to be really two of them got to be serious, in my
yeah,
opinion. Like rec, let rec be rec. I have no problem with rec. Like it's supposed to be for the fun kids. It's supposed to be, oh, my friends playing. Like I shouldn't be hearing varsity teams having kids on the roster just because their friend is playing.
No,
Like
right.
to me, that's an issue. Like even some of it's on the coaches too, man, for like what they've accepted. Like there's got to be a standard put by somebody at some point to
Well,
okay, well this is a serious thing.
I mean, I
Yeah.
also find it so super interesting in like private schools. There's this dual edge scenario where they try to get everyone to play every sport, one, right? And I mean, I don't know if that makes much sense for being competitive or, being decent. Um, but at the same time, like the private schools are not particularly progressive about using their facilities to get kids in to train, to practice. And like I said, it's just more of like an area effort to get kids in the gym. And I don't know if it's a liability thing all the
Yeah.
time,
It
you
seems
know,
like it
It's
usually is.
it's
you know,
just weird for me because I went to Charlotte Christian. And so if you look at Charlotte Christian, people are in the gym all the time. People are on the football field all the time. Like Charlotte Christian for a while was the school because everybody was always in the gym, like whether
I
you
mean,
went there or not.
the reality of it is when Hilton Head Christian was slamming in girls and had good boys as well, and prep as well. It's because they had a fairly open gym policy, and
Mhm.
in Christian's case, you can get in. Like they have the the code or whatever it is, the key card, and it's an outdoor entry, so you can get into the gym from the outside, so you don't have to go through the school. So it's
Right.
accessible way more of the day, and so like they would always have kids in and allow kids to use the. I mean, Harry, man, we're giving Harry all this credit for, and deservedly so. But even as late as like this year, he was in their gym all summer
Yeah.
you know so a lot of these kids, and PJ as well, and Devin Yard still comes back and uses the gym. So like prep is the same way. Prep has the best runs, open runs in the summer. A lot of people coming in town, college vacationing and that, but they get to put their kids against it when they have good kids, right? So it's just a matter of like more people with all hands on deck in terms of giving kids access, but then not only giving them access, um, having some infrastructure as well that makes some sense to actually teach them. They got to have the ability to have free play, right? They got to try stuff out. They got to have
Mhm.
fun, but then they also need an element of like, hey, what happens when someone does this? How do I counter? How do I respond? What happens when this press comes at me or whatever? So we're just lacking in so many areas that I think we're very lucky to have two teams in the third round, and a couple of skis of teams that look like they could remain in the mix for a couple more days. So
Yeah.
it's a good thing. And then across the bridge, I think there's a couple teams that have a shot over there as well, right? Bradwell's looking pretty good. Jenkins probably girls have a decent shot in 3A. Bradwell girls and boys are both excellent. So, you know, um, yeah. I mean, but nobody's running really deep this year, I don't think, either side.
No. Speaking of which, here's your brackets. Beaufort has South Florence on the road, obviously, tomorrow night, and then if Gray were to knock off North Augusta, I don't know about that because North Augusta is real good.
Yeah.
But if they were to do that, then Beaufort beats South Florence, then it would oh wait, doesn't matter. Next one's at Florence Center. There are no home games after this. But that's where Beaufort stands. Tough one at South Florence tomorrow night. We're out 4A boys. We got Bluffton hosting Wilson. Winner gets either Gray or North Augusta. Again, should be a very good game over at the Den on Tuesday night. And then you got Oceanside, Fox Creek, Class 3A girls, Dillon and Keenan. We're out of that one. 3A boys, we got knocked out of that one. Fox Creek knocked out Battery Creek. They'll take on Loris, Orangeburg, Wilkinson, and Keenan. Good run by CJ's boys. 2A girls, Lake Marion and Atlantic Collegiate, and Marion versus Timberland in there. 2A boys, there we go. Hampton County against Mullins, Central against Phillips Simmons. I still like Hampton's chances to keep rolling in this. I think they might
Yeah, I
they
do
might
too.
have a shot to get to Columbia.
Yeah,
We'll
man.
see. And then 1A, military versus Bethune Bowman, Lada versus Denmark, some of the regular powers there. on the boys' side, Bethune-Bowman against Charleston Math and Science. Didn't see that coming. Bowman's tough. Carver's Bay is pretty good too. So is Latta. So Carver's Bay took out Hardyville Saturday night. So there you go. There's your. I don't have Skiza brackets because I haven't seen actual brackets. I've just seen schedules released day by day, which is very strange. I'm not sure what's going on.
Hey, Skeezer will Skeezer, man.
Skiza going Skiza, that's for sure. Anything else, boys, or have we done enough damage tonight?
I think we did it, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's it. Do we think the boys, USCB boys, have a chance at the NCAA tournament still?
That's a good question. I know that there's a guy who does bracketology on Twitter.
Well, I saw that.
Here.
I saw that graphic come out this week, which I didn't quite understand. Which was
I ain't
like,
either.
yeah, like the top. You saw that?
Yeah,
Like
the teams
12
under consideration.
Yeah, and then it didn't even rank them in like the Southeast, but it had.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting.
But like I kept seeing it reposted, so it was a big deal. Or
Yeah.
Like
so
the
I guess
repost.
right. So it looked like to me that they released a list of teams that were being considered for the rankings in alphabetical order, which was strange, and then the actual rankings would be released later. But it's so strange to announce it like that.
right.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know. It had
So
me all
do they
crossed
have
up. I
another
was like,
home
why
game?
did they list them in alphabetical order?
Do they have another home game at all?
No, potentially. Um, if they hold on to a top 4 spot in the conference, then they'll host the first round of the
Girls are
conference tournament.
Girls are
The
number 2,
women
right?
have already clinched it. They're second.
So they have another home game.
They will have a home game on March 4th, and the guys currently are tied for third. So they just have to hold off. I think they have to either win at North Georgia or have Georgia College lose one of its last 2 games. So they're right there. No, they're actually in third. They're a half game ahead of North Georgia. But regardless, they have to either win Saturday or have Georgia College lose one, and they'll clinch a home game as well, and could finish as high as second still theoretically. So yeah, March 4th for the first round, and then 7th and 8th for the semis and final at the highest remaining team, highest remaining seed.
Oh,
So,
nice.
Yeah, that is solid.
Yeah. Yep. So that's the other thing. USCB women, if Columbus State somehow lost in the first round, they'd get to host the rest of the tournament, which would be dope. But Columbus State ain't losing. They're real good.
I'll see them losing.
Yeah, they're tough.
They're
USCB
too
about got
disciplined.
them up there.
They're too disciplined.
Florence, Florence is not a great place.
You're just
Can't
there all
say.
weekend.
I've been there like 4 out of the past 14 days or something like that. I don't know. I've been there a lot lately. We didn't even make it far enough north to go to Buc-ee's. So, yeah, bummer. All right, boys. Well, good stuff. We got some more games on tap this week. Cherish them because they'll be over before too long, and we'll be moving on to other things and waiting for basketball season again. But I know it's always basketball season for you guys. You guys are always chasing it. But good stuff tonight, boys. We'll see all y'all out in the gym this week, Monday, Tuesday, and we'll see if anybody survives past that. But we got Beaufort on the road Monday night, Bluffton at home Monday night, Hampton on the road Monday night or Tuesday night for Bluffton. So get out there in the gym. Let us know what you see. For Rob Benson and Coach Fish, I'm Justin Jarrett. Thanks for hanging out during the happy hour, and until next time, go Lowco.